So, last chapter, we finally got the reason why Garp and Roger finally teamed up against Rocks. And the main reason for this was only because Rock actually got Domi reversey by Eam. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is Eam turned Rocks the Zebek himself into a demonic being. Just like in like present time Elbath in the current story, but we in the past. So this is what Eam actually did to Rock, is what he's doing to the giant warrior pirates, or the giant on Elbath. So what's interesting about last chapter is now that we got information on like the hockey back then that Roger and Rocks used, or Roger and Garp used, and now you see this scene here. Like the only way to like knock Rocks out his demonic form, or no choice, was to kill him. But the amount of hockey they pulled into their special move, or their finishing move, exhaust them completely, and I mean completely. They can't even move. So you get this scene right here, which is, well, what happened when they go all out. So here we are, One Piece chapter 1166, titled New Tale. And like I said before, we get this scene and it begins the aftermath of the battle. And you get this right here. Did they really break the curse? And this is Rock saying this, like his thoughts. Remember, the only reason why Rocks was like trying to fight back control of his body, or trying to resist the control of Eam, was because Eam was kind of like, oh baby, don't do eliminate them, basically. But now that like Rocks is like completely like exhausted and got knocked out, well, not knocked out, but like exhausted all his power, or to Rox's case, he's mentioned, oh, did they really break the curse, basically, like stop. So you have Roger knocked out or barely conscious, and you see Garp barely conscious. Like they all three of them are super exhausted, because they expended so much effort and amount on Rocks himself, because he was that strong. He made him into like a strong person. Yeah. Now, Rocks is, we all know. So you see this right here, right? These three mysterious people. So these three silhouettes approaching the three of them right here. Three silhouettes approaching Rocks, Roger, and Garp. Now, Rocks is having this thought in his mind, says, oh shit, this isn't good. He knows who those three are. He said, come on, say a lot. This island is, damn it, it's too late. Roger, Garp, run. You can't die. You can't die. So you gotta remember that Rocks came out like he got his conscience, but he can't move, and it's sad to see Ross go out like it is. Personally, I've liked Rock throughout this whole back whatsoever. I liked his back. I didn't hate him. I liked his back. Like, I didn't see why like people hate him though. And I may get into another video at that after we do a case study with Garland, because he needs to be studied, because he got some issues that needs to be worked out. But anyways, well, one of them, St. Garland points a blade toward Rocks, and he's ready to get the kill shot. And I guess the final thoughts or the one thing that, like, the final thing that's on Rox's mind, like his thought, he says this: oh yeah, there's one more thing. Thanks for stopping me. And Garland just did Rox in, you know? That's actually what happened. So now we come back to another panel, and you have Rayleigh and Scarper Gabon grabbing up Garp, and Rayleigh grabbing up Roger, his captain. And you have Roger telling those two that, how's Rocks? And they just like, or Rayleigh, he's telling Rayleigh, said, Rayleigh, tell me what happened to Rock. And Rayleigh just broke the news to him and said, well, he was killed. But I think Rayleigh knows what really happened to Rocks. Let's be honest, because I think he knows, like, he's not dead. It's just he was on the verge of death, but the God's Knight Saint Garland dealt the final blow, and he said he was killed, and you got everybody panicking because the island's disappearing, and it was like, hurry, the island's collapsing, don't let the pirates escape. Roger's ship is on the move, fire. You basically got a bunch of stuff going on, and when I say a bunch of stuff is big. So they finally make it back on the ship. Everybody went to separate. The Roger pirates went to separate. The Marine pirates went to separate. Well, who else? Oh, the Rocks pirates has officially been disbanded. They all dispersed, like scattered throughout the wind because of what happened to Rocks. So narrator comes on. The crumbling island was swallowed by the waves and consumed by fall, like curtains closing on a grand stage. The silence in the incident's wake lasted only a moment before a massive bolt of light split the heaven, and with that, the curtain rose for new tales unfold. So you got the Marines firing on, well, I don't know who they're firing on, but you got Kaido, Dragon, Garp, Roger knocked out, by the way, and then you got Whitebeard, and then you got Genie, Kuma, and Ivankov, Big Mom, and when I say Blackbeard and his mom, so surviving mother, but we don't know what happened to the mother. Hopefully we get to find out down the line. Oh, I can't forget Baby Shanks, that was in the trunk, and we about to find out. So Roger wakes up from his nap, but from resting, and oh wait, I can't forget what the prize was. They got Shocky on board. So yeah, Shocky safe and sound, and we scored a ton of treasure to boot. What a great haul. And they hear Roger stop. He's like, freezes. He's like, what's that? Do I hear a baby or something? He's like, what the it's coming from that chest. So Roger opens up the treasure chest, and you got a Baby Shanks in the treasure chest. So we do know who puts baby in the treasure, but we don't know how Uto winded up in the treasure chest all of a sudden. So yeah. So previous chapter, Shanks did cried into the treasure. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, when it was not just men on board of the ship, it was one woman on the ship, and that was Shock. Another mystery solved. You gotta remember too, because it wasn't specified like how, like who was on the ship. It was a man. It was Roger's crew, bunch of men on board, just the men. However, not with this case. We just had, remember, Roger and the rest. We just had this God Valley incident. Everybody Shocky was the like center folk. Roger got shocked. Case closed. Now, I'll be honest with you. Now that Shocky has been added to Roger's, does that mean she took care of Shank? Just saying. Anyways, and it also continues. Rock's pirates wiped out. Predictably, news coverage was falsified. Only one aspect of the story was highlighted: the heroism of Garp. So we finally get a conclusion, or not conclusion, but so this is how Garp the hero was actually, his title actually came to be, like why Garp is like the hero of the Marine. Now we know the news coverage was falsified. So yeah, I knew that was kind of stretch when they say, oh yeah, Garp and Roger teamed up. Excuse me? So yeah, it says that the Rocks pirates have been vanquished. Rocks is dead, and Garp is the strongest. He's a hero. Everybody sing praise Garp except Garp himself, unfortunately. So we're back at Grand Navy HQ, and Garp himself is not happy. He's not happy, camp. And woman says, Vice Admiral Garp, and Garp says, I can't wait to get my hands on that Morgan's fella. So yeah, Morgan's was the only person that put that falsified information. And Sengoku was like, relax, Garp. He only wrote that stuff because of the government paying him off. Sengoku continues, the world government and the Marines are a massive organization. If you count the member nations' armies, we're talking about tens of millions of soldiers worldwide. It's impossible to account for everyone's actions and motivation. So if the top brass ever do strike me as insane, I assume turn a blind eye to it. And Garp was like, come again? It's just like I said. And they start beating each other up. And Garp ends up saying this: if you ever stray and get corrupted, I'll kill you myself. How reassuring. I guess that's what friends are for, basically. And Sengoku even said, so you're not quitting then, Garp. And Garp calls him an idiot. Well, there are still things at the bottom of the cliff that need a guard dog, right? So we're back at Elbaf again, and the news has traveled all around the world, unfortunately. And Loki found out, and he's crying. And he says, and he remembers what Rock said. How many times do I gotta tell you, Pipsqueak? You think I want a brat on the crew? And you already know that Loki looks up to Rocks as like a figure, you know. So yeah, but not only that. But you also have a backstory too. Loki says hey Rocks, I think you're Nika. And Rocks like, who? The warrior of liberation who will destroy the world while laughing. Destroy it? I'm aiming to be the king of the world. Besides, if anyone's got that sort of power, it's Harold. And Rox explained it to him. Listen up, Loki. Somewhere out there, the Galera are somewhere there, an outrageous band of ravens, and the only one who can put them back in their play or put them back into play is your pop. So yeah, that's basically what Rox was telling. So just imagine if Hero and I teamed up, who could possibly stop us then? And Loki's like, whoa, okay. So when Loki found out about Rox dying, man, that hit him hard. But wait, it didn't hit him. It did not just hit Loki. It hit Harold hard. Like, this man was furious. And our narrator comes on and says it's a vicious assault. King Harold of Elbaf is on a certain island. Have any civilians been harmed? No. Now, Harold is mad, angry, and rightfully so. He didn't listen. He didn't listen to Rock. And he says this: you still don't get it. I understand, really. I'm sorry. Everybody was just like looking at himself. Well, we understand. You don't get it. None of you do. I didn't want to jeopardize Elbaf's chances of joining the world government. That was my only reason for not helping him. I forsook my closest friend as he begged me for aid. I left him to die. Remember, Rox warned him. Rox warned Harold so many times. It's like, look, you got to open your eye. Don't you realize that they are using you? If they use you, it's a wrap for you, dog, down the line. And he says this: there's no turning back now. I would never ever forgive a giant who does. And the newspaper says the giant king loses. Now we come back there to Navy HQ, and you remember what I said on every single chapter, that Dragon will start to go down the rabbit hole. Well, here we are, the rabbit. So, underground detention center, and you got Garp just tapping the cell bars. Was like, and Dragon just says this: you know what? I'm quitting the Marine. I despise you. And Garp just like, all right, I know. And he just tosses a key to him. Tosses a key, you know, to unlock his shackles and stuff. So, Garp is like, I just don't give a damn no more. After what he's seeing on this island, Garp is like, you know what? I'd rather not for you to like die or nothing, because I already seen enough already. It's horrible. Here, take that key, get out of here. I don't want to see you again. And there you go. And that's how Dragon just start. We already know what's about to happen. So yeah. Now back on Elbaf, Harold comes back to Elbaf. and he tells Ida and Elder Jarrell, Harujin, well, not Harujin, but he tells Ida and Elder Jarrell, I made up my mind. He looks at Harujin and Loki. So, I want you to get along while I'm gone. So you got Harold traveling to Navy HQ, Marineford, and well, he gets off the boat, takes both his hands and places them on his horn and ripped them. And he ripped them off. And it says this, allow me to atone for the sins of the past 1,000 years. I apologize for every wrong the giant race has committed. The children of Elbaf are being raised to live without harming others, so that one day they may walk hand in hand with humanity. I do all this to prove our unwavering commitment to peace. I'll do whatever it takes to atone for our sin, even if it means becoming a slave. And you just got aimed to the side. I don't know if you can see that, but you got aimed to the side, just like menacingly seeing all this. Is there light at the end of this tunnel? One Piece chapter 1166 and so, final thought. Never thought this would actually happen. So, I guess what to take away from this whole chapter is Rox did have some regret. I'm guessing if he can move, if he has some kind of energy left, he would have gotten Roger and Garp out of danger. Done. Well, has energy to fight off the God's Knight. Like, do or die time. Just like, I hold him off, get him out of here. And Garp, and I bet you Garp, Scopper, Gabon, and Ray was like, silently takes Roger and Garp and is like, yeah, don't look back. He just got Rox by himself with the other God's Knights, and there you go. That's how the Rumble started. It's sad to see Rox go out like that, knowing his backstory too, because we got so much information on like Rox and his connection to what's his name, Davy D. Jones, the previous king of the world, and Rox telling Aim to his face, you ain't no king, not yet. Because you know why? Because you don't claim that title. That title is already reserved. You're not the king of this world. So yeah. So another thing that I want to bring up is well, obviously the main plot one is Dragon, which we all know Dragon is gonna go down that road, and Garp just casually just banged on his cell door, hand him the key, and Dragon just tell him, I despise you. And Garp's reaction was like, yeah, K, I know, and what else he said? He said, I'm gonna quit the Marines. And Garp was like, all right, cool. Toss him the key, and it's like, have fun. I mean, don't show your face. And that's Garp. If you seen that, see that panel is like tells you everything. It's like Garp just like, I already saw what was going on the island. I messed up. I made the wrong calls. It's like, what the hell? I get you want to leave. Go ahead. I mean, I'll do my own thing. So that was fun. The last thing is Haruden. Not Haruden, but the king. It's a shame. King Harold didn't realize like. I wish he saw the sign. If he didn't see that sign, it's like, yeah, Rox need my help. I feel like if Horror went to Rock and was like, okay, got Rox, let's get out of here. That'd be the end of the story. Everybody say Rox will still be alive and everything. There you go. I mean, I guess that if Rox would have joined Roger, I mean, that would be pretty much a busted crew already. I'm just saying. But anyways, if you like this chapter, this video, subscribe, like, and share. And if you comment down below, or not if you comment down below, but comment down below, what do you rate this chapter on? Because the conclusion of this, what do you rate this chapter? But yeah, because it's kind of crazy. Rox didn't need to go out that, but I guess if it's to like keep the story going, yeah. But we got Blackbeard. Now we know what happened to Blackbeard, but we don't know what happened to the mom though. That's interesting, but still. Thanks again, and see you next adventure later.